Good evening, everybody. The Washington Post reporting that the Obama White House delayed enacting controversial regulations on health care, the environment, and worker safety, all trying to help the president win re-election last year. That's according to 7 current and former Obama administration officials who told the Washington Post that the motive behind many of those delays were simply political. At the White House today, Press Secretary Jay Carney tried to defend the delays, claiming they were just being thorough.
The administration is committed to a regulatory strategy that maintains a balance between protecting the health, welfare, and safety of Americans and promoting economic growth, job creation, competitiveness, and innovation. Our goal is not to move rules hastily, but to maximize the effectiveness and benefits of the rules we complete.
The president's press secretary obviously reading from a prepared script in answering the reporter's question. The reporter, by the way, our chief correspondent, Ed Henry. The Obama administration is accused of doing far more than manipulating rules and delaying regulations. 2 fact-checking organizations, the Washington Post and PolitiFact, singled President Obama out for telling the biggest lie of the year. This whopper we heard countless times over a 3-year period.
If you like your health care plan, you'll be able to keep your health care plan, period.
And that's not the only Obama assertion deemed a lie. The Washington Post reported that 3 of the top 5 biggest lies of 2013 belong to President Obama. We take that up tonight in the Chalk Talk with the A-Team. Many of the president's problems with the truth involve his signature health care law and Obamacare once again generating headlines today. House Republicans holding the 4th in a series of hearings looking into the disastrous rollout. Today's Oversight Committee hearing in Texas looking into reports that Obamacare navigators, workers who try to help enroll people, are actually encouraging people to commit fraud. Oversight Chairman Darrell Issa said the program is severely lacking in federal oversight.
We cannot have a repeat of the acorn-like activities that led to too many people believing that there was something for nothing and ultimately ending up with nothing when they started with something.
But at the White House, Press Secretary Carney fired back, declaring that Issa was trying to undermine the Affordable Care Act.
This is just one more data point in the Republican obsession with sabotaging Obamacare. All navigators must complete about 20 hours of training, including training on privacy issues. And this training is not a one-time only process.
But emphasizing Congressman Issa's point about security, today a confidential Obamacare Navigator training manual was uploaded onto the web. The 217-page manual reportedly offers advice similar to what you would tell a car salesman: smile, make the customers feel welcome. But for some reason, the Obama administration put a giant disclaimer at the bottom of each page that the information is not to be released to the public. While the Obama administration continues to try to spin the disastrous health care rollout, new polls show many Americans simply are not buying into it. According to a USA Today and Pew Research survey, young people who once overwhelmingly supported President Obama by a margin of roughly 2-to-1 in his campaigns against both John McCain and Mitt Romney now have abandoned him. Just 45% of 18 to 29-year-olds approve of the job President Obama is doing. That compares to 67% who did so this time a year ago. Just 41% of millennials approve of Obamacare itself, compared to 54% who disapprove. And it's not just young people troubled by the health care law. A separate poll by the Associated Press finds that nearly 4 in 5 Americans with health care insurance, 77%, say Obamacare will change their policies for the worse, covering fewer types of medical care. So what is the Obama administration doing to combat all of the negative sentiment? Kicking off an advertising and marketing blitz using taxpayer dollars. Both the state-run exchanges, the federal government, and health insurers are reportedly starting to bombard the airwaves and social media with Obamacare ads. Insurers alone are expected to spend more than $500 million on television ads next year. The Ryan Murray bipartisan budget compromise, which passed the House last week, is expected to pass a key critical procedural hurdle in the Senate tomorrow. At least 6 Republican senators have indicated they will join with the Democrats and vote to end debate on the 2-year budget deal that needs at least 60 votes to advance. Final passage of the budget measure requires only a simple majority after that. Congress, however, faces another battle over the debt ceiling after Congressman Paul Ryan said over the weekend that Republicans will seek concessions in exchange for extension of the limit on borrowing early next year. The White House today reiterated that President Obama's position is not changed and he will not negotiate on the debt ceiling. A federal judge ruled today that the National Security Agency is likely operating an unconstitutional collection of telephone call information and data. U.S. District Court Judge Richard Leon finding that NSA activities appear to have violated the Fourth Amendment's prohibition of unreasonable searches and seizures. Judge Leon issued a preliminary injunction that bars the NSA from collecting so-called metadata from Verizon wireless accounts, but he then stayed the order in order to allow for an appeal. The ruling is the first legal setback to the NSA surveillance activities since Edward Snowden exposed the practice. Snowden, a major part of a 60 Minutes expose on the NSA last night, where it was revealed that there is a rift within the agency about possibly granting Snowden immunity in exchange for the remaining files he's believed to have in his possession. NSA official Richard Leggett says it might be a good idea. The White House says it hasn't changed its position at all. They want him also, of course, Snowden, to return to the United States to face felony espionage charges. We'll take that up here later, and reports out of Saudi Arabia that the Obama administration's policies in the Middle East have upset the royal family. Colonel Ralph Peters joins us on the strained relations with one of our largest allies in the region, and we'll have more on the president's effort to delay, for political reason, new rules and regulations until after the 2012 election. The A-Team will respond. Pat Caddell, Brad Blakeman among our guests here tonight. Former MTV VJ Kennedy is here. She is a Fox Business News host now, and she tells us all about her new show called The Independents right here on the Fox Business Network.